They're here! They're coming to get us! Ah! Everybody run!
Let me go! No! Stop! No!
Turns out Halsey likes to freak out every time there's a bit of a flash of light. Rumor is that he was in fact abducted by aliens. And that my suspicion is that this isn't even the real Halsey anymore. Who knows if we even knew the real Halsey? It's gotta be a replacement.
You're listening to the Sufficiently Advanced Podcast.
Put on your tinfoil hats and grab your cups of water. It's time to talk about aliens.
Welcome to podcast 6, by the way. 6 podcasts in. That is insane. And we've brought the pain again.
Yeah, here I am. They're not going to get the tinfoil thing, dude. I think that's beyond them right now.
Is it really?
Yeah. What? I mean,
really?
Why would an 8th grader put on a... They wouldn't know what the tinfoil hat would be for.
Well, let's tell them right now. What are the tinfoil hats for?
What's the point of the tinfoil hat?
Well, as you know, if you've ever been abducted before, of course you know.
Obviously.
That they block your brainwaves so they can't find you and read your thoughts.
Simple.
Duh.
Wear them all the time.
Simple tinfoil. And it's a fashion statement, too.
The perfect
Exactly.
one.
You have to get the perfect roll at the top.
Right.
Just to get the work
And
right.
it's got to be the Reynolds wrap, not the generic.
No,
No.
you can't do generic.
Brand name all the way.
Brand name.
You don't want to mess around with your brain.
Exactly.
This podcast is brought to you by Reynolds Wrap.
Feel free to send us free stuff and, pay us. That'd be great.
Money. Cold hard cash.
All right, so aliens. We're going to start off talking about UFOs because I feel like that word sums up better the concepts of craziness that we're going to go into with that part. So, Halsey being the expert, having been inside a UFO, we're going to let him take it from here. I'm Hanson, by the way.
I'm Halsey.
We don't
Payne.
care.
We do care. Everybody cares. I'm the reason that you kids listen to this thing. I should have been on, I know this is the alien one, I should have been on the Marvel one, or the, I know Hanson's a DC guy, I should have been on the comic book one. Because I kind of feel like I'm a superhuman type of guy. Lacey's more of an alien type of guy. He should be on the alien podcast.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe next year.
Next year.
How about we do one on Marvel next week?
Next week
Let's
we're
just
doing...
rename the podcast Payne, Hanson, and Halsey. Huh?
I mean, we could do that.
We can do it. I'd be down.
I'm sure.
Let us know in the
never get any
comments
views.
below. Anyway,
right.
all right, so we'll talk about UFOs.
Yep.
So, this whole thing about UFOs is really cool. I love the idea that, I mean, look, honestly, there's no, what do you guys let's just go like this. Like, do you think that there is extraterrestrial life that is intelligent enough to come into my kitchen?
I have recently been convinced that I think it is extremely unlikely that there is any intelligent life in the universe, sentient life.
Well, that's a buzzkill.
I know.
Why
I
are
know.
you here,
Whoa,
Hanson?
yeah. Seriously.
Of all, I mean,
Because conspiracy theories are insanely fun to talk about.
Sure.
That's why.
but of all the planets, this was one of the questions when I was on last time. Of all the planets, all the universe, the wide universe out there, there's got to be something out there, man.
Oh, I think there's alien life.
You're saying not intelligent.
I just don't think there's any life that's evolved to the point of being sentient and intelligent.
Yeah.
I think the Fermi paradox is not as much of a paradox as we think, especially when you start boiling down the statistics and probabilities of every single hurdle that kind of has to be crossed or things that are required to get that far. It's surprisingly narrow.
Okay. I totally believe they're real.
I mean, yeah.
Have you haven't been to my house, but my neighbor. Pretty sure Harold.
They're among us.
Harold has something with him. I mean, this dude gets out there in a windstorm and is sweeping his driveway. That man must be an alien. It's
It checks out. All right,
That's the scary
convinced.
thing, though. If they look like us, have you seen that show V? When I was a kid, that was my first exposure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as a kid, you never think, well, geez, they might look like you. So I was kind of alarmed, like, geez, what if mom's an alien, for God's sakes? What if
It'd explain a
Dad
lot.
is well, I better not say that on the podcast. Yeah, but that was my first exposure to aliens as a small kid. I remember watching that show and realizing, geez, they could look just like us. I mean, that's a creepy thing for a kid.
That is a little creepy for sure.
Now, speaking of UFO encounters and aliens, so when it comes to UFOs, if you don't know what that is, it means an unidentified flying object, sometimes called a flying saucer.
I mean, technically, UFO was like a military designation, right?
Yeah.
So it's literally what it says, unidentified flying object. Doesn't actually mean aliens. It's just anything that they see flying around that they can't identify. It could be a drone that they just don't recognize. It could be, weird stuff that showed up on the camera that wasn't anything
Space
at all.
junk.
Space junk. So it's become a jargon term for aliens, but it wasn't always that specifically.
Because during World War II, they called them Foo Fighters.
Hence
The band.
name.
That's how the band got their name.
They don't
Nice.
know who Foo Fighters.
Yes,
Nobody
that's
knows
fair.
who
Everybody
Maybe
should
their
know
parents
David
are
Grohl.
listening.
Yeah, some parents listen to this now. We gotta remember that. But they like us better than the kids. But
So the crazy thing about UFOs is the first one that was actually, the first report that was recorded was in 1905. Since then, there have been 104,900 something reports.
Hanson, it's almost like you're reading this off of paper, man. You just have these random facts in your head.
I mean, just all in my brain.
That's awesome, man.
The only thing that stays in my brain is useless facts. Everything else I have to use a PowerPoint for.
Here I'm going to get into, so that's since 1905, and most of them have been in the United States.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that around the world there haven't been lots of UFO sightings.
Yeah, these are just reported.
But
much
here's
less,
the thing. That isn't when we first had our first recorded UFO report. Because if you look at art from the 14s, 15s, 1600s,
Or even older than that.
there's actually a painting that depicts a sky battle
That's nuts.
from the 1500s. It's like this German piece of art. And you can find it, and all this, like even a famous one. I think there's a Madonna with Child, and it's not the Madonna with Child. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But it has in the background. There's a dude and his dog staring up and pointing at a UFO in the painting.
Well, you also have like even further back historical examples. So, in the Hebrew religion, you have Ophanim, which is a type of angel, but it literally just looks like a spinning wheel with wings kind of on it, which when you think back, sounds a lot like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Right? Same goes with
The Sumerians.
Yep, and the Hindu also have a version of like a saucer-like thing that floats around in their histories. So it's obviously a pervasive meme, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And yet we still can't convince you, Hanson, that they're out there.
I
Unfortunately,
know. That's going to be the goal of this podcast.
That's right.
Hanson will be convinced.
Okay, so Halsey mentioned this earlier, and we wanted him to get it on the podcast. Explain Blue Beam, because it's super awesome
so
craziness.
before we get to that, I do want to talk about some like famous UFO things.
Oh, okay, nice.
Because it kind of leads into that. Of course, everybody knows the Roswell incident. Payne was there.
Yep.
I'm not that old, man. Come on.
Debatable.
No, I was just saying, Payne's immortal.
That's right. That's what you meant.
That's what I meant. He's immortal. He was there. He's part of the
So
conspiracy.
if I kill him and eat him, does that mean I become immortal?
No, you have to cut off his head. Is like Highlander.
You look kind of
Done.
hungry, man.
Done and done.
Don't get any ideas.
There can be only one. But definitely won't get that reference.
Nope.
So the most famous UFO incident is the Roswell incident,
Right.
Where a UFO crash landed in the New Mexican desert, and they came out or they even reported it was a UFO, and then all of a sudden it was a weather balloon.
Yep.
And so they said they recovered alien bodies. So let's get our tinfoil hats on, because I'm going to make you guys think about this one.
All right.
It wasn't aliens at all.
Okay. What was it?
It wasn't aliens at all. So there is a big theory out there that it wasn't aliens, but it was people. It was real people.
Okay.
And so basically the idea is the USSR had heard how the American people acted during the H.G. Wells War of the World broadcast, where they acted completely crazy and lost their mind. And so the USSR thought, we can take advantage of that. And so what they did is they created a flying saucer, basically just something to crash.
Yeah.
And they actually used children. And they genetically modified the children in order to look the alien part.
Whoa, that's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
It sounds like something Russia might do.
Yeah.
So were they dead when they were inside the UFO flying?
No.
They were alive?
They were alive. They're horribly genetically modified. But here's the crazy part. The reason why the United States let the alien thing kind of go on and kind of pervade throughout the mythos is that they wanted us to be looking for aliens, and instead of what the United States actually did, they said, oh wow, these are modified humans, let's reverse engineer this technology. And that was the birth of the United States genetic modification projects.
That is
so instead
horrifying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good God. So also, this is, in case you don't know, this is where all the Area 51 stuff came around. So this happened in the area where Area 51 is. Area 51 is a real thing, but we have no idea exactly what it's there for. They say it's just there for, like, military testing of stealth bombers and stuff. But the rumors are they're the ones who hide all of the evidence
aliens.
for
How
aliens.
stupid do they think we are? Huh?
Very.
I mean, really?
Very.
Do they not? They have that little faith in American intelligence that they would try to pull a fast one on us.
I'm not gonna.
I can neither confirm nor deny
The H.G. Wells
any of
thing.
those.
Maybe you should explain that, like the actual radio broadcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Hanson, do you know this
Yeah,
one?
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
So there was a radio broadcast where H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, they basically acted it out as though it were actually happening.
Yeah, it was by Orson Welles was I believe the orator on that one.
Yeah. And so they read it like a news broadcast, even though they were reading almost directly from H.G. Wells' science fiction book, War of the Worlds. And people they didn't realize that it wasn't real. And they freaked out. Everybody just lost it and thought the world was about to end. So, yeah, kind of crazy, but I mean...
when you figure out that they're just messing with you here, I wonder if you ever listen to that radio station again. You've had
Well,
it.
there were like 3 of them.
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't
true.
really have
That's
much of
true.
a choice.
And most people didn't own a radio, probably. Well, I mean, some people didn't own a radio. But you must have been outraged.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they were mad.
Yeah.
So you have the Roswell incident, which may or may actually have been something completely different,
And
it
yet
really
almost as horrifying either way.
either way, and it kicked off the whole UFO craze in the United States. Everything became sci-fi. Now a lot of reports are bogus. They really are just lights in the sky sometimes. So. But there have been some other really big ones. There was one in 2004.
Yeah, the one that just got released.
Yeah, the one that just got released.
Yeah. That was, so the Pentagon just recently released a video that was recorded by Navy pilots. And it's a crazy video. You got to look at the video because essentially, I mean, this isn't like some crazy dude recording with his cell phone camera, in a random middle of the night thing. These are Navy pilots that are multiple pilots watching this little silver orb just sit there and spin.
Yeah.
And they're all just sitting there like, is this a drone? What is happening? None of them could figure it out. And then it, just flies off and disappears. Yeah. So released by the Pentagon, not some random Joe Schmo. Legit, creepy, what in the world is existing here?
Yeah, and there's lots of other examples out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the astronauts actually have reported UFOs.
Yeah.
Astronauts.
There's some good NASA footage of that.
Yeah,
too.
some good NASA footage. But like where the astronauts going to the moon would say, on their radios, something's following us and things like that. So I don't know. Hanson,
That's
you may be
disturbing.
a bit of a skeptic, but there might be something to that.
Not impossible.
Not impossible,
Certainly.
but that kind of leads me into Project Bluebeam.
Okay.
Where
This is
all
good stuff.
of this is a lie.
All right. I'm with you.
Let's think about it. If a Hollywood movie wants to make a convincing special effect of aliens or space,
Yeah.
can they do it?
I mean, on screen, absolutely.
On screen? Then their budget's a few million, maybe a $30 million movie, right?
Yeah. Under
Now-
$1 billion, easily.
Now let's imagine the most expensive movie studio in the world,
Okay.
NASA,
Okay.
with a budget of billions.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
Well, they might have more than what we think. So
Fair, okay.
let's say that NASA is the big purveyor, the U.S. government, and all the governments. So all these UFOs, all these paranormal things, all these crazy sightings, like especially the one over the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Look that up, super crazy. But all of these are simply holograms.
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 I didn't think we could even make, like, legit
Well,
The Tupac.
holograms.
Tupac was the hologram.
Tupac
Come on.
hologram. Have you not seen the Tupac hologram? Seriously. If they can do that,
Right.
they can make aliens.
But what would be the?
Okay.
Why would they do that?
Thug life.
What would be the benefit? Yeah, thug life. What would be the benefit of NASA doing that?
Well, it's not the benefit of NASA, but the benefit of the New World Order.
The secret underground government that
Secret
controls
underground
everything.
government.
Oh dear.
So,
The Illuminati.
when could you give us a little explanation on the Cold War, Payne?
I feel like y'all are trying to brainwash me here. Like, hey man, you want to join this little club? Let's. Yeah, the Cold War is just. It's really like a financial back and forth kind of, or a financial war between the U.S. and the USSR. It's really a. I don't know how to explain it. It's a way to put me on the spot. Edit this part out, please, Jose. Good God.
Guaranteed. We'll for sure edit it out.
everything. I have time to edit. That's like all.
That's a thing he has.
I have time.
It's communism versus democracy. It's the spread of communism and the U.S. trying to stop the spread of communism by pouring in millions and millions and billions of dollars to a bunch of Asian countries and into their own military to try to fend off the spread of communism.
And lots of, like, bragging rights kind of
It's
stuff.
bragging
where they
rights.
Lots of
It's-
tension.
It's lots of tension. There's no shots fired. It's not an actual hot war. There's no fighting. It's just spending a bunch of money to build up their arsenals to kind of scare each other into backing down.
And lots of spying.
Lots of spying.
One day we should talk about the almost nukes.
Oh my god.
Almost nuke stories.
Ooh, those are horrifying.
Anyway, there's one other encounter recently
Okay.
where a military base lost control of its nuclear arsenal while
I
a
don't need to know
UFO
these things.
flew over. A UFO flew over, and the whole thing lost control of its military arsenal. Couldn't even log in. We're talking like 50 nukes.
Man, if we knew all of the times where accidentally the entire human race was almost wiped out,
Oh, it's
I'm
great.
sure it would just be astronomically, existentially horrifying forever.
Well, one of the presidents during the Cold War was Ronald Reagan. And he once made a speech where he talked about how all the dangers of the Cold War could be completely gone if we only had an outside force to band together against. Specific words, an alien outside force.
Okay. He's also the one who came up with the Star Wars program, right?
Yes, he was.
This is the plot of The Watchmen, man.
Yes, it is.
is the
It
plot
is.
of the
I was just
Watchmen.
thinking that.
It just clicked in my head. This is Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
He's going to be the bad guy,
Well,
right?
Ozymandias. Ozymandias
Yeah,
was the one that came up with
Ozymandias
it.
was-
But
the bad guy.
in the fall, yeah, he's
Yeah,
the
he's
bad
the,
guy. He's
the fall
the blue
guy.
guy's the fall guy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Blue beam.
in the actual comic,
Well, so what the idea is that the space technology and all the technology that we have is actually decades behind where we're actually at.
Huh.
And they've been able to create this amazing technology that could even project holograms so real looking that makes sound and everything like that, and are tangible, could almost
That's
it can
crazy.
be touched. And there's like decades ahead of where they're showing the everyday public. And the idea is that what they'll do is use these holograms to create an alien invasion.
Okay.
And so they create these alien invasions to unite the world together.
It makes sense.
Against an outside threat, creating a one world government to be controlled.
Well, I mean, sounds plausible. Horrifyingly plausible, even.
Yeah, these people will believe anything, for goodness sakes. Right.
I mean, it's not about believing it.
But
Me and Hanson are in shock here trying to process this.
This is a
That's
lot
why
to
there's
process.
that's the dead silence. We're trying to process the fact that all of these sightings might be a hologram, for goodness sakes. That's crazy.
I mean, think about it. If you had a long-term plan from the 1950s,
Yeah.
how many was it? 190-something thousand sightings?
Yep.
And let's say 10% of those aren't crazy people,
Okay.
and they're seeing these holograms.
Yep.
That is more than enough to implant that into the conscious mind of people that aliens exist.
Oh, for sure. I guarantee you
And
an American poll would at least 70% of people believe UFOs.
Yeah, I asked
Happened.
my circles today if you believe aliens exist, and almost all of them said yes.
There you go.
Think about it. Even you saying that you are not a believer in complex alien life, in complex alien life, if a UFO showed up outside today, would you really be that surprised?
Probably not.
The fact
I
that-
honestly don't know. I don't know.
The fact that
I
it would
would
be
be
outside
surprised
Westbriar.
for sure.
That would be the alarming thing. Why are you outside of Westbriar, man? Of all the places in
I'm
the
just
world,
saying, like,
why
Houston.
are you here?
Over
Oh,
Houston.
Yeah,
Houston.
fair enough.
Because those things, they have to be big.
Yeah.
They're motherships.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Your
think,
mothership's so fat.
Oh, everybody would think.
Yeah.
There'd be pandemonium, man.
For
Even
sure.
if you believe, it's like, well, I don't want to get into religion.
No.
I better not say that. But even if you believe in UFOs and aliens, you would still be in a state of shock if one appeared
For sure.
before.
Yeah.
I think so. But I see what you're saying, though. You're saying that, like, yes, we would all be in a state of shock and it would be mind blowing. But after like a minute or two, we'd all probably be like, "I knew it."
I knew it. I was there. I totally knew it. I've been on your ship before. Bring me back, Elvis. So, like, yeah.
So Blue Beam.
Yeah, Blue Beam's a pretty terrifying little thing.
Are you saying blue beam or blue bean?
Blue Beam.
Oh, okay.
Beam.
I thought for a second you said blue bean. I said, well, that doesn't
lasers,
make
not
sense.
lima beans.
I get
Let's-
it now. Lima beans are green. Even I know that.
So let's go to another conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Are y'all okay with conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Of course.
So another one is that they're not aliens at all. Now that we are being visited, but they're not aliens.
Whoa, what are they? Are we talking like Indiana Jones Crystal Skull?
Oh,
or?
don't ever bring that up in my presence again, or I'm gonna shove you in a lead-lined refrigerator and see how long you can
Well, I mean,
breathe.
it would protect me from a nuclear bomb, so I'd be fine.
It's a circle arc. You can't win this one, Ozzy.
Well, what if they're not? They have the spaceships looking things, and they have weird biology, and you've seen pictures of grays and stuff.
Yeah.
But what if they are not aliens, but rather humans from the future?
Huh, time travelers.
They're time travelers.
That's
Okay.
less believable to me, I think.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know which is more far-fetched. I feel like, so are they just messing with us then?
No, like the idea is that they're coming back to prevent us from doing something.
Oh, well, they're
So
not
they-
doing a very
they're
good
from
job.
They're not
Earth.
doing a very good job.
They're from Earth originally, you're saying.
Yeah, like
and
say,
they've gone somewhere else.
10,000 years in the future.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's an interesting theory for sure. I mean, I like the idea of it. I don't know which I would find more convincing, the actual aliens or time-traveling humans. I mean, I certainly hope there's time-traveling humans, because I hope that instead of us actually dying, they come and replace our bodies with a dead body, take us to the future, bring us back to life, heal us, and we get to live forever. But that's just my immortal hopes and dreams getting into my brain.
I don't think that's happening, dude.
Psychoanalyze.
I mean, that's what I would do if I could time travel. I would go back to the point where every single person died, replace them with a fake body so that they thought, everything was copacetic.
Is that what happened to my dog?
I mean, it's entirely possible. I'd at least pick and choose a few dogs.
Roscoe lives.
You're not getting much sleep at night, are you, buddy?
I mean,
no.
Going off the
I
rails
don't see
here,
how
man.
that's relevant at all.
Easy, man. You're going off the
Calm
rails
down.
here, for goodness sakes.
Take a walk, man. Take a walk.
I mean, am I the only one who's ever read Heinlein? That's
No,
like a
but-
thing that they do.
I know, but
There's a whole time travel agency. All right, tangent. We'll save that. Back to time traveling humans that don't replace dead bodies.
this isn't my favorite theory, but it is a one to consider.
I like it. It's interesting.
Personally, I do believe aliens most likely exist. I mean, if you look at the Drake equation, it's this really long-winded equation, but basically, if you take all the number of stars and calculate the number of planets, I mean, just in our galaxy alone, there are estimates of 10,000 species that would be able to communicate with us. Now, why, if they are doing this, and they've been visiting us for a long time. If we look at like the ancient alien theories and stuff like that, when we talked about it last time, possibility of the progenitor theories,
Right.
That they left us
Seeded planets. Potential for life.
It's 10,000 possible species. The question is, if they're
Where are
just
they?
watching us, why are they not trying to communicate with us? What are we doing?
I mean, they've seen our television shows.
They've seen the Kardashians.
Maybe they're just shy. Maybe they have the social anxieties. They're bad at introducing themselves. Maybe that's it.
Blarp is shy.
Maybe that's it though. Maybe look at these sophisticated, handsome, attractive human beings. My gosh, I cannot approach these guys without, I don't know.
I mean, look at all those
couple of
amazing
beers.
history teachers. How could we even compare?
Look at that cow.
We've figured out faster than life travel, but
Right.
those history teachers,
They're
man,
just right.
it's too much.
I think that's
Is that a science teacher? I want your autograph.
Okay. But the Fermi paradox, I think even if they were hiding, I still say it applies. Because I think you'd have to be like almost an omnipotent being to hide evidence of that much technology that would be required for an interstellar species. I mean, we would at least, because of how far light has to travel, we would see like Dyson spheres or something.
Well, they had that thing where they thought they found a Dyson sphere.
Yep, it's very close.
Not too long
I was
ago.
So excited.
Payne, if you don't know it.
of course I know it, Halsey.
I just saw the...
Let me explain
You
it
seen
to
the
you
Star
kids.
Trek episode?
A Dyson sphere is a...
The word he
it's
meant
a
was sphere.
Sphere. A dice, that's what I meant.
don't correct him. I wanna hear
It's a toaster oven that specializes in the baking of rotisserie chickens. Is that right?
Nailed it.
Yes.
Right.
Nailed it.
Now, a Dyson sphere is a large object that is able to surround a star and collect all the energy.
Oh,
from
you said
around
Dyson
it.
sphere.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, man.
Yeah, sorry. We didn't say chicken rotisserie.
Right.
Sorry.
I misheard.
Misheard. But
Yeah, so that's one of the big evidences of an advanced civilization, because you would obviously need to harness a lot of power
But
at some point.
dude, like at the same time, like, who says we're so freaking advanced?
I mean, I don't think we are.
We don't even have self-tying shoes.
I mean, we do. Nike made some specifically for Michael J. Fox. They created a working version of the self-tying Nike mags from the movie.
I don't have a pair.
This
That's
is true.
the problem.
This is true.
There's
I mean,
no
they're only like
hoverboards.
$20,000.
There are hoverboards, man. I've never been those things that Mike Tyson falls off of all the time. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah.
No, I mean real hoverboards.
Right.
I mean, there's also real versions of those. They're not, practical,
Yeah.
but I mean, they kind of made some.
But you know what I'm saying?
YouTube
Like, maybe we're just not the advanced ones. Maybe we're not ready.
I mean,
When you think about the Fermi paradox, maybe there are those advanced civilizations, and we can't communicate with them. We don't know how to communicate with them.
fair enough.
They're sitting there like, why haven't they returned our text? Like, I stopped by their house 10,000 times, and they're just like chilling. They just stare at me like a turkey looking up at a rainstorm.
I don't know. Not convinced.
That's insulting. Like, we're
Yeah.
so stupid. We can't. I mean, don't assume these guys are so brilliant. That sounded like a turkey. Man, I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think
I
we
used to
all
go
know
turkey
that
hunting as a kid.
Did you
So,
really?
yeah.
it's really the dolphins that are the intelligent species. And, once that intergalactic highway comes to blow away the Earth,
Yeah.
they're
So
gonna
long and
take
thanks for all
off
the fish, man.
and thank us for the fish.
Let me
All
ask
right.
you a question,
Yeah?
both of you.
Okay.
Y'all strike me as Star Trek fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shocker. What is the deal with the whales in that movie?
Nobody knows.
There-
We don't
oh,
talk about
I don't get that thing. I don't
okay.
get that. This is
So-
off the topic, I'm sure.
Star Trek. But the deal with the whales is that the whales are extinct and they want to bring them back and save the whales. And it's a commentary on killing all the whales.
That's what the whole movie is about?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
in-
Leonard Nimoy has fun directing a movie.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Checks
And he
out.
wears like this Kung Fu Vulcan.
Yes, the Kung Fu outfit's so good.
Man, and Boba Fett, he's in that one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow.
Everybody's
Okay,
favorite.
that's where I draw the line.
Sorry. Katniss, is she in that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I saw that movie when I was younger. I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. These space aliens have, they're on Earth here. Oh, they're not aliens, though. But Nimoy is.
Yeah.
Spock is.
Spock is.
He's so interested in saving the whales. I mean, come on, man. Don't you have anything better to do?
Social commentary
Been all
movies.
over the
That's what happens when you
universe.
try and use a movie for.
Yeah.
That's the great George Lucas for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Psych, it's Gene Roddenberry. Got him, guys.
Except Gene Roddenberry didn't direct that.
But he created Star Trek, huh? I know my Star Trek too, gentlemen. Picard,
Hey, TNG.
Data.
TNG is where it's at.
TNG
is where it's at.
I know what that stands for.
So, I think we're not going to convince Hanson today. I mean, there's so many crazy things out there, though. Different incidents.
There's a lot left to explain, for sure.
Yeah,
we are but far from knowing everything that there is to know in everything, but also in this kind of stuff specifically. There's a lot of possibilities out there,
Like, they could come back.
and get you.
Before we go, I know Halsey's trying to end the podcast because he's got to
no.
go watch some Star Trek.
Shut up.
Let's go through and name our favorite alien movie.
Or alien movie.
Not sci-fi,
man.
but I guess
Just
it could be
aliens
sci-fi.
in general?
Something that
so
involves
hard.
aliens.
That's so, like,
It depends on how vague you
Mine
get.
is La La Land
La La Land?
with Ryan Gosling.
I think
Okay.
mine is First Man with Ryan Gosling.
You haven't. That's not even out yet.
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh,
Did it really? How dare you? How dare you take advantage of my love of Ryan Gosling? It's inappropriate and uncalled for.
Oh, I gotta see when it actually came out really quick.
That's not out yet. I don't think.
It's out. That's all I reviewed
It might.
for.
I know it's soon.
Of course you know it's soon.
I mean,
Let's see.
But-
In theaters, October 12th.
Ooh.
holy cats! Tomorrow.
We know what Mr. Hanson's doing tomorrow.
Yep, guaranteed.
No, when it comes to alien movies, I'm definitely not gonna say Independence Day because that was just like, Michael Bay.
I mean, it was Michael Bay doing what he should be
That's
doing.
what Michael Bay doing. He needs to stay away from my Transformers. I love the original Alien.
That's where I was going as well. I mean, it's Ridley Scott at his best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a lot of ways, like cinematically, it's almost a perfect movie. The way that they transformed the way that you looked at science fiction back then.
Yeah.
It was
Because it was
it's
always
an amazing
corny
movie.
and stuff like that before that.
Yeah.
I think. Have you ever seen Signs?
Oh my God, I
It's
love that
underrated
movie.
as a movie, man.
So
Tinfoil hat,
underrated.
get your cups of water.
That is
I
underrated.
changed.
Right,
I
water.
changed to Science.
Water is the secret ingredient to kill aliens.
I changed to Science because I
I
love that movie.
Okay. Here's the deal with that movie, though.
Here we
I
go.
have to say this. Rant time. Okay. Look, Glarp's gonna invade this planet. What? It's made of 70% water? How? And, what is this coming from the...
It's water.
It's water.
Conceptually,
I know.
it had some terrible stuff, but the execution of the movie
The
itself,
introduction
The aliens
was
were
fantastic.
I'm sorry, the aliens were thwarted
Right.
by pieces of wood. You just nailed the door
aside-
shut, and
aside
then they
from that-
cut their fingers.
Aside from the last 10 minutes, like that ridiculousness, like the build up to the introduction.
Yes, the
when the
build-up
when
was
the space alien
yeah, when the
walks in that
first
footage.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, so creepy.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That part
all right, I
there.
think we're encroaching on a seriously long podcast.
Oh, dude. Okay,
We're at
yeah.
35 minutes. Maybe time to cut it off.
All right, fine.
Are you're just gonna edit me out of the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. Payne.
Every time.
Actually, he's not even here. This is the edit.
So I go home and tell my wife, "Hey, I was on a podcast, but actually, y'all aren't doing this, right? I'm not actually going to be on the podcast."
No.
Never.
Well, darn it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's proud of you for other things.
No, not really. No. Can't say that she is.
All right, well, thank you for sticking around this long if you actually did. It was fun for us at least. So
Yeah.
we got that going for us. But what are we talking about next time?
The dangers of AI, I believe.
That's
So-
one of my favorite topics. So you'll probably get an even longer podcast because there will be a lot of rants.
We're
on
trying
that
to
one.
keep this to 15 to 20 minutes, but
Zero success.
It's not working out.
All right.
It's not you, it's me.
I'm Hanson.
I'm Halsey.
I'm Payne.
Nobody cares. Thank you for
Jeez,
listening.
Hanson, that's
They're coming to get you.
No.
Run while you still can.